and this is a show that is for students by students. And so our students have gotten together and they have. You can clap over here. Our students have sat in your seats before. So they have been first year students. They have been through and moved through their first year at UMW successfully. Many of them are moving into their second or third year at Mary Washington. And so one of the things that they wanted to do is put together some skits, some vignettes, some situations that you might encounter as you transition into UMW. They wanted to present that to you, but do it in a fun way. And so this is what students tell us typically is the most fun part of orientation for them. You met half the orientation team already. You will actually see the entire orientation team tonight. They will all be acting in UMW Live. And before we get into some nuts and bolts and a little bit of housekeeping before we get started, I do want to let you know who has helped put this program together. You met, again, the orientation leaders, and actually you met one orientation coordinator, but I'm going to introduce you to all of the orientation coordinators, the key people around and this orientation experience. And so we're going to start with the orientation coordinator, and we're going to start with Maylin Beitzel. Yes. This ring pop is sticky. I don't know why. Okay. All right, so thank you, Maylin. I'm going to put on my ring pop. Maylin is a rising junior here at Mary Washington. She was an orientation leader last year. She's the leader of the orientation team. Another orientation coordinator here is Sarah Hood Recant.
I'm really nervous about this, so I'm just gonna say, will you please be my dean?
I'd be happy to. You make me the happiest person. You guys, I don't really know how to make that work. I shouldn't have done the intros first. Sarah is a rising senior here and an orientation coordinator. Next, we have Haley Terzinski. Yes. I don't know what you're asking me, but yes. They do something different every night, and this has never happened. So, and so Haley is a rising senior. This is actually her third year on the orientation staff. She's serving as orientation coordinator. We have two more orientation coordinators that I want to introduce to you. They are up in the booth. One you met earlier today, and that is Rachel McVicker. Oh. She's never been out of the booth before, so this is, I mean, she's been out, like she exists outside of the booth as well, but that was a surprise. So Rachel is a rising junior and is in her second year on the orientation staff. And finally, we have, I don't know if he's going to be in the booth or not. I don't know what's going to happen. Finally, we have our super senior, Joey Opekin. Joey's got all these ring pops. I know, that was crazy. That was wild. So this is your orientation coordinator staff. Again, they have been orientation leaders. They are the people who make the entire operation run. Without them, we could not do this orientation program. So they lead the orientation leaders and every part of the experience that you've had today and tomorrow, they will have had input into. I also want to introduce you all. I talked about her a little bit before, and she wasn't in the room at lunch. And so I also wanted to introduce Lily Lester, who is our senior student coordinator for orientation.
I can't top Joey, so I'm just gonna go for it.
Thank you, Lily. I don't know what to do with these. And Lily is in her third year orientation. She was an orientation leader and an orientation coordinator, and now she is senior student coordinator for orientation. She is basically the right hand for me and Brittany, and without this, none of it works. Um, And finally, you met her earlier today, and she's been with us all day. Again, Brittany Greenleaf. She's our coordinator for new student program, and she oversees all of the staff and all of the programming that has happened. She is really an essential element. She's walking very slowly towards me. So give it up for Brittany. Thank you. Of course. Of course. You guys. So this is our leadership team. I couldn't be more delighted to work with these folks. If you're interested in becoming an orientation leader, we will be at Club Carnival. And so leadership at Mary Washington is real. And you don't have to give me a ring to become an orientation leader or a coordinator. But without these people, we would all be a little bit lost. And so everything that you see, everything that you experience during this program is really because they have been working since December to put this together. And so thank you so much for all of your hard work and your dedication. The fact that I have to do the rest of the talk with these rings, it's crazy to me. I don't know which one is yours. She just said, "Can I have mine back?" I love that you remembered which one. Okay, that's my actual ring. Don't take my actual ring. Anybody want their ring pop back? So I don't really have a good way to do anything except for to keep these ring pops on while I have another conversation with you. I want to make sure you kind of understand what we're going to have tonight. UMW Live again as the skits with the vignettes and the situations. Following that, we will have a conversation about bystander intervention and consent. Since you are spending the night here, those are really important pieces of being a Mary Washington student. We want to make sure that we take some time to talk about that with you. Following that, we will have some time with your orientation leader and your small group. They're going to go over a few more nuts and bolts that you need to know. And then we will have a choose your own adventure. We do ask that you choose one of the adventures that we have planned for you. Brittany will actually outline those a little bit more in detail a little bit later, but all over campus we're going to have some fun things planned, whether you want something high-key, low-key, whatever you're looking for, we will have some things planned for you. Then following that, we will also have some pizza and get our t-shirts and then retire for the evening. A few more nuts and bolts before we get to that point of our evening. Pause. I do want to share that the card that you got today, your access card, and your orientation leader will tell you a little bit more about this. That access card will turn off at midnight, meaning that you cannot get back into Randolph after midnight. You will have to call the police if you need to get back into Randolph after midnight. And so I want to make sure I point that out to you all. Part of that is we want you to be inside Randolph at midnight. It's fine for you all to hang out around campus. Don't want you going off campus. Want you to conduct yourselves accordingly. But if you are outside of Randolph at midnight, you're going to have to call the police to let you back in because that card will not get you back in. That is only for tonight. That's not a thing that happens during the academic year, but I think it's important that you know that for tonight. In addition, when you registered for orientation, you clicked a box and said, "I agree to the code of conduct and guidelines that are set forth in a sheet that is on the website." Now, when you checked in today, in your folder, there was an orange sheet where we listed all of those things. It's a long sheet, and basically the basic premise of it is don't be a bonehead. So you agreed to that. Now, if you break these policies, one of the things that's going to happen is I have an emergency contact for you, and I will have to contact your emergency contact no matter what time of day or night it is. And so that person may have to come pick you up. I also will have to contact the Office of Admissions and the Office of Student Conduct and Responsibility, and they're going to decide whether or not you get to be a student here. So we are going to enter a covenant this evening that you're here for, at this point, less than 24 hours more. And so I need you to have my back that you're going to follow these. Let me hit a few highlights for you. First big highlight is that you have said that you agree to not engage in any behavior that violates university policy and or state or federal law. This is just a good rule of thumb beyond this evening. I'm just going to put it out there. So what does that mean? It basically means that we're not going to drink anything we should not be drinking tonight. Right? Right? Thank you, session 5. I need you to have my back here. So we're not going to drink anything that we shouldn't be drinking tonight. And I mean, know many of you are from Northern Virginia, or maybe you spend time in D.C. There are things in Washington, D.C. that are legal that are not legal in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We're not going to be smoking anything we shouldn't be smoking tonight either. Right? It's one night. It's one night. You guys can do that. If you find that you are having challenges around not being able to conduct yourself for one 24-hour period by not drinking what you shouldn't be drinking or smoking what you shouldn't be smoking, come see me. We have resources. We want to make sure that you get connected with those resources. I'm serious. Some people are like, I need to be connected with resources. In addition, your takeaway from this shouldn't be, well, she didn't say anything about heroin or cocaine. Don't do those things either. If it's illegal, it's illegal, y'all. All right? All right? Because the thing that you don't want to have happen is you don't want me to have to call your parents and tell them at 2 a.m. or whatever about some shenanigans that you got yourself into. For my athletes in the room, I'm also going to contact the athletic director. The athletic director is your coach's boss. That will not go well for you. So I like to make sure everybody understands, and we are cool, right? One night, y'all, one night. Another highlight. Another highlight for you tonight. One night here. I've spent all day looking at you. You're a good-looking group. You're a good-looking group. Yeah, thank your parents. I did not have a thing to do with it. Promise you. Most of you I just met today. You've spent the day looking at each other. You're a good-looking group. Right? Right? So for this night, this one night that you are here, one to a bed, one to a bed, and one to a shower. All right? One to a bed and one to a shower. Or a chair or a door jamb or a floor. I'm not here to tell you how to do your do. I'm not here to judge you. But for tonight, we are going to make sure we govern ourselves accordingly. One, to a bed, shower, or wherever you need to be. Also, if you decide to have one, two, whatever, don't do anything while your roommate's in the room. Let's just be respectful, okay? Okay. Okay. Because if you can't abide by that too, then that is also a call that I will have to place to your emergency contact. Let me tell you about a phone call that your parents do not want to get. Right? So hook me up with my ring pops. Thank you. Thank you, Mezzanine. You got me. Hook me up, right? Y'all feel me? We're going to govern ourselves accordingly. We're going to make good choices, is what we're going to do. We're going to make sure the only thing, we're not going to engage in any behavior that is unbecoming of a Mary Washington student, and we are going to make sure the only thing we exchange tonight are phone numbers. Or friendships, or goodwill. You can exchange all of these things. Before, I appreciate that we have an understanding. Before I let you go, I do want to have a quick shout out to some special guests in the audience. First special guest is Brittany Greenleaf's little sister, and this is Kalia. I'm just gonna shout you out. Hi. She's up there being sassy. I love it. And then I've got three other special guests who really helped put this program that you're experiencing today. These three were instrumental in putting the program together. They have served in the capacity of graduate assistant for the orientation program. Prior to Brittany's arrival, that was a grad assistant position. And so I just want to shout out Liz Bradley, GA 2014-2015. And summer of 2014 and summer of 2015. Heather Kennedy, GA summer of 2016. And Sam Kasner, who is the GA for the program, summer of 2017 and summer of 2018. Without these three women, this program would not exist. And so we are operating in their slipstream and in their legacy. And I just have so much thanks to give to them. And so they are here tonight to support the program. Also up in the rafters here is an instrumental person for all of you to know. This is Dr. Marion Sanford, and she is the director of the James Farmer Multicultural Center, and she is one of the best and most important human beings on this campus. I cannot say enough about who she is and her spirit. You will get to know her, but she is up here, and I love her with my whole heart. And so, all of that said, I now give you UMW Live.
It's just my roommate. She's just so purple. What? She has a tutu that's purple. It's just so purple. I don't know.
Well, if you have any more problems, you can always let me know.
Okay, yep, we'll do. Thanks.
Hey,
bye.
My man right there.
How am I ever gonna take care of this on my own? You know what? Forget it. I need to watch The Bachelor.
On this episode of The Roommates, Carly's looking for a new roommate. Now we're in the final two.
So
yeah, I'm so excited you're considering me as a roommate.
Hold up.
But why are you even looking for a roommate now?
Me? Looking for a roommate? What?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're the one that told me.
Okay. Okay, sure. Looking for a roommate. Go ahead.
So yeah, I know I'm gonna be a great roommate, and I definitely see a microwave in our beautiful future together.
A microwave in our room?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, but I saw a list on the UMW website. You can't have microwaves. They don't have an automatic switch off. You can have a water heater Keurig, though. Those two?
What? No microwave? You can't tell me that.
Hi, can I steal her real quick?
No, no.
I just have something really important to say.
Oh my god, fine, whatever.
Okay. Bye.
So, I think I would be a really great roommate. Like, I go to bed pretty early, 2 a.m.-ish.
Okay.
Plus, I come with a lot of decorations.
Awesome.
I have this one poster with guinea pigs on it. They're just such majestic animals.
Okay. Awesome.
So our room will always feel warm and guinea piggy.
Yay! Thank you. Wow.
Bye.
Keep that in mind. Yep. Bye.
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 Is the camera ready? Ready? Alright. Oh my god, I can't believe Nick interrupted me like that. Like, I definitely didn't get my time. And apparently, I can't have a microwave because the university provides one in the common area where other people cook their food.
So I think it's going really well. Plus, I can be super helpful. Like, I already know how to do work orders. Just go to the UMW homepage, click presents, and scroll down to Eagle Gateway. Click work order request, fill it out, and you're done. Someone from facilities will be there within 48 hours to fix whatever is broken. I love it. Carly accused a roommate like me. We didn't better watch out.
Okay. I guess it's time for me to pick my roommate now. So the final key will go to, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. 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 I don't know.
Flip a coin.
I don't
Knock,
know.
knock, knock.
Hey, my boy's back!
All right, Matthew?
Yeah, you were definitely screaming again. What's going on?
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah.
Oh, I just had a really bad dream. I was on The Bachelor, and I had to pick a roommate, and there was microwaves, and I don't know, something about guinea pigs. I don't know.
Well, you're okay now, but changing your roommate is the last resort, and it's a long process too. But we can all sit down and talk about any roommate problems. What happened to your roommate agreement?
My what?
Alright, let me explain. At the beginning of the semester, you and your roommate both signed an online document explaining each other's expectations and boundaries for each other.
Yeah, but my roommate and I just aren't the best of friends.
Well, look, roommates argue sometimes, and that's perfectly fine. That's why we have the roommate agreement.
Well, you're right, R.A. Matthew.
Yes, sir.
That's much easier than whatever that was. Thank goodness I have my R.A.
Yeah, Madison!
This is Eagle Jeopardy! I'm your host, Alex Trebek, and today's theme is community responsibility, also known as questionable activities. Let's meet today's guest.
Meow! This is Valentina Whiskers. With 25 cats and a love for late night cuddles with the kitties, I am ready to win.
What's up, y'all? This is Matty Case. I'm a full-time student and a part-time SoundCloud rapper. I hit the courts with some good grades and beats. Y'all feel?
Hi, my name is Anna Beth, and I'm a 20-year-old student here at Mary Washington. I'm UMW's biggest fan. When I'm not crying over my love for Mary Washington, I really like to talk to the squirrels here on campus.
Today's categories are campus
conduct, campus facts, and President Pay Now. Mr. Cakes, you start us.
Let's see. Give me campus safety for 400 dollar bills, y'all.
Strategically placed here on campus, this resource is used when students feel unsafe.
Oh. Them shiny blue lights are dope, bruh.
Please answer in the form of a question.
Dang, bro, are you serious? Come on.
I know. What is the blue light system here on this absolutely amazingly beautiful campus of Mary Washington?
That is correct.
Thank you. So just so you know, I know this campus like the back of my hand, and I could pretty much navigate it with my eyes closed. So if you really want, I could totally give you a tour sometime, like show you around.
Okay.
Let's say student conduct for 600.
As enforced by all UMW rules and regulations, this is the legal drinking age.
Oh, I got it. It's 21, bro.
Please answer in the form of a question.
Fish face.
What is the age of 21? Rare.
That's correct. Choose the next category.
Haha, category meow. Campus safety for 600.
These are resources students can use in questionable situations, meaning if the student feels unsafe or finds themselves intoxicated.
What is the blue light system? Which, by the way, you never said if you wanted to like take a tour or not.
What are safe rides? Whenever you feel unsafe on campus, possibly after a party, you can give campus police a phone call to safely guide you back to your residence hall.
What is a responsible friend? Someone like a designated driver that can get you to and from your residence hall safe and sound?
You guys are all correct.
Yes!
All receive points.
Woo!
Mr. Cakes. Next one.
Let me see. I kind of want student conduct for $400 bills.
Alright. This is the organization on campus that holds all UMW students accountable for their conduct.
What is the student conduct review board, which is completely made up of students?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Annabeth, please choose the next.
Let's say student conduct for 200.
The job of students on the Student Conduct Review Board and the possible sanctions that students can receive for their questionable behaviors.
What are a lot of things? Oh, they're cool cats, but they do not mess around. They serve as the middle people between UMW and the needs and rights of students in relation to their conduct on campus. There can be some unfortunate consequences.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I have an answer. Also, in the case of being caught with alcohol, drugs, or other illegal substances, there are many possible consequences. Possible consequences include alcohol education, an educational project, a fine, or other possible consequences.
That's right, Maddie Cakes. And in some cases, depending on the severity of the questionable behavior, you could also be given a warning, undergo an assessment, or in some cases, expelled.
Dun, dun, dun!
Annabeth, choose our next category.
President Payne for 1,000. President Payne for 1,000. That's it. Let's go. Let's go.
Name this UMW figure.
Financial situation as we start.
Financial debts, it's not uncommon. However, if we collect all the financial aid stones, we can use them to defeat your debts. In fact, here's one now. When you got into the universe of Mary Washington, you were automatically enrolled into the Tony Stark Scholarship application. And that is what got you this stone.
Now that's going straight on my resume.
However, to continuously use the power of this stone, you will need to reapply every year between the months of February and May.
Ah, sweet. But where do you find the other stones? Ah, Thanos.
never get my payment plan stone.
Yeah, this stone allows you to use the Nelnet, the University Money Management website, so you can sign up for any payment plan.
Which means each student can break up the total cost of tuition, room, and board into balanced monthly installments that you can pay through your Eagle Pay account.
Exactly. You've got your class schedule, and this stone helps you keep that schedule by encouraging you to pay your bills on time.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the budget, but this is pretty rad. Look over there.
Is this Spider-Man?
Yoink.
Your optimism is misplaced, Spider-Man.
I disagree.
You'll never get access to my delegated access stone.
And that stone allows you to delegate access to someone like a parent. However, you can revoke this privilege, and it gives you access to student accounts. Accounts like health records, holds on the accounts, or grades. Like I said, you can revoke this so they can't see your grades, or limit it so they can only see holds on your accounts or health records.
But it does not allow you to view any financial information on the student's account. That's another stone.
Oh, Coolio.
Oh my god. Dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the village.
Just one more shot, I got it.
Look what you've done! They got another!
Sorry, Bob. It's inevitable.
Well, you'll never get my authorized payer stone.
And that stone does exactly what it sounds. It allows you to authorize someone to pay your bills.
But it does not allow you to view any of the information on the student's account. So you must sacrifice someone if you want to pay your bills.
Please don't do that.
You realize I'm Tony Stark, right? You realize I would have already covered this in the Tony Stark Scholarship, right?
But what did it cost?
Well, not even a dent in the multi-billion-dollar Tony Stark Scholarship application.
Yeah! Stone. And $10. I'm rich.
Well, I've seen 14,605 realities where you don't get the dropping for non-payment stone because your credit score is lowered.
Mr. Stark.
There's only one reality where you'll pay all your tuition and graduate on time. That's if you have the stone, like this one. You know what? Forget this.
Well, since you guys got all the other stones, and I'm just a mindless minion who follows those in power, this is the emo stone. With this stone, as long as you check your email every day, your financial situation will be okay.
Huh. Let's check what's on the web. Get it? Web. Oh, I just got the stone in an email attachment. Thanks, dude. Now that I finally have all the stones, I can be rid of my financial doubts. With great financial aid comes great responsibility.
Yes, ma'am,
Yeah, Mom, I promise I'll get involved. No, Mom, I'm not joining the Frisbee team. You know I'm a Philadelphia challenge. Alright, I gotta go. I love you. Bye. Oh, hey, David.
Oh, hey, Katie.
Listen, I really want to get involved on campus, but I have no idea where to start. Can you help me out?
Yeah, there's this new app called Tinder Club Carnival. It's got a list of all the clubs here on campus.
That's so convenient. Oh my gosh, open it right now and show me.
Alright. So, the first one here is Seeking Dog Lovers. PAWS is an on-campus service organization dedicated to helping animals find their forever homes. How about it?
Well, I do really love dogs, and I'm super passionate about giving back to my community. Hard right. Next.
Alright. Let's see. I got it. Frisbee, more like Frizz Babe. Am I right? The UMW.
I said no Frisbee.
Okay, if Frisbee's not your thing, we have 20 plus other clubs and intramural sports you can join. Most aren't that competitive and are just for fun.
I get that, but sports just really aren't my thing.
Fair enough, I guess. Alright.
Hey, Katie. Have you guys heard about First Friday? It's sponsored by the campus programming board, and it takes place the
separate from orientation, created just to welcome me back to campus. That's so cool. Count us in. Back to the clubs and organizations.
Alright, so want to get your Shakir on? Do those hips lie? Well, if so, the UMW belly dancing team is the place for you. It's a service, it's a multicultural and performance club here on campus. One of many, in fact, and it spells belly dance in the culture from which it comes from.
The last time I tried to dance was in the 8th grade, and I broke my left foot. So
Alright,
But I wonder if there's a club that's related to my major.
Oh, yeah, okay, alright. Wouldn't have our club got to be such fun, guys? Well, over here at the Biology Student Association, it doesn't take much to get through our selectively permeable membrane. It's a great way to get involved in the department outside of the classroom as well.
That's so exciting. That's literally just what I was asking about. And I know that if I switch my major, there's so many other academic organizations that I can get involved in too. Amazing.
Alright. I don't really see anything else. Oh, wait, I got one. Voices of Praise, a co-ed gospel choir here on campus. Voted most likely to throw on a rope and spontaneously burst into song. The member count is always welcoming new people, and the requirement is that you must always sing in the shower. How about it?
My roommate had mentioned something about wanting to join one of the faith-based organizations on campus, so I can get some more information for it.
Alright.
I just feel like I'm looking for something that I haven't quite found yet. Oh, what's that?
Oh, if you can't find that special something to fill that void of your social life, apply for an on-campus job. You get some extra money as well. Or, if you want to get real crazy, grab 5 friends, an advisor, and create and submit your original constitution to the 3rd floor of the UC to the right, which is where the Students' Activities and Engagement Suite is located, and there you can make your very own club.
I can create my own club. That's literally just what I was looking for.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can't do at UMW.
Hey, how's it going?
Come join us in the spring semester for Devil Goat Day. It's a carnival celebration filled with great food, great friendships, and memories that will last a lifetime. I'm a devil because I graduate on an odd year.
And I'm a goat because I graduate on an even year. All the goats are way better than those devils.
What?
We'll have to see about that.
Yo! Woo! Well, go classes 2023! Am I right?
I really should call my mom back and tell her about everything that I learned about muscular.
Alrighty.
Yes, ma'am, Katie. Hey, Mom. Can't believe all the awesome opportunities I have to get involved here at UMW.
Are you ready, kids?
Good morning, class. Before we get started with today's exam, I'm going to take attendance. SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm ready, Mrs. Puff. Squidward Tentacles.
Hey.
Patrick Star. Patrick Star.
What?
Thank you, Mr. Star. So today is the day you 3 have all been waiting for, your final Mary Washington boating school exam. Passing this test means you're finally ready for the road on your own. And let me just say how proud I am of all of the work you've completed over the course of this semester. Haha, get it? Course? Boating school jokes. Wait, here, Mr. Tentacles, you pass out the exams. So I will not be in the room while you take this exam because you are all bound by the UMW Honor Code, which means you promise to neither steal, lie, or cheat during this exam. You all have an hour to finish, so good luck.
Mrs. Puff, Mrs. Puff,
Yes, SpongeBob?
do we have to write the exam, the honor pledge on the exams like we do in School's class?
Oh, yes, thank you, SpongeBob. It is UMW policy to write the honor pledge on top of graded assignments and pledge it by signing underneath it before turning it in.
If you have any questions as to what it looks like, it's written in every classroom.
Mrs. Puff, can I borrow a pencil? Articles. Here, you can borrow one of mine.
All right, quiet. Eyes on your own paper. If you need me for any questions, I'll be in my office down the hall.
SpongeBob! SpongeBob! What? What are the answers?
I can't share you with that, Patrick. That's cheating.
What? Why?
I can't tell you because the honor pledges you can't share work on great assignment.
Be quiet.
Mr. Squidward! What is going on in here? I just heard you talking.
Free Squidward.
Even if one person is talking, that means I have to send all three of you to the honor council. Fine. Don't make me come back in here, you three.
SpongeBob! What? SpongeBob, I have to tell you something. Something important. What? Hi.
Hi!
5 minutes later.
SpongeBob! SpongeBob! Mrs. Puff left your chocolate bar.
Chocolate!
SpongeBob, I want it.
You can't. It's Mrs. Bessie. We take it or we steal it.
Okay.
Has anyone seen my chocolate bar? I can't remember.
Chocolate!
Not even gonna ask. Did I pass it out with your exam? Are you drawing on your paper, Mr. Squidward?
Come on, man.
So, I didn't pass it out with the exams. Oh, here it is. I'm glad I can trust my students. That's very UMW of you. Keep your hands off each other during exams.
5 minutes later.
Man, this exam is so hard. Patrick, what's your for
What?
21? Did you get window waivers or turn signals?
I got Wumbo.
You realize that you two nincompoops are violating the honor pledge that you signed by talking?
Yes, sir.
If we get in trouble, we'll have a hearing from the honor council, or made up of our own voting school peers. They decide which our punishments are, which can range from a notation in your academic record to exposure. As if I don't have better things to do, all because you barnacle heads won't stop talking!
Mr. Squidward!
He done it.
What in the world is going on in here now? I'm not cheating, Mrs. Puff.
What?
What was that, SpongeBob? He was the one talking.
Huh?
Are all three of you cheating? No, I'm not cheating, Mrs. Puff. I gave you one warning, but I'm afraid I have no choice but to send you to the honor council. But I'm a good noodle, Mrs. Puff. And I soiled it, soiled it, soiled it. Since you guys have been such good noodles, I guess you all have one more week of class before you can retake the exam. Yay!
This is a class?
Mr. Starr, you have been in this class for 9 weeks.
What?
You were taking the exam.
An exam? I didn't study.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do it right there.
Yay, jellyfish wheels!
Smiley!
OMG, guys, look. It's the clue book. We haven't seen that thing in years.
What's the clue book?
I can fit my whole fist in my mouth. Do you want to see?
No!
The clue book is where we keep information about inclusivity on campus.
Gretchen! Your hair is so curly!
Karen? No. Just because my hair is different than yours doesn't mean you can just go and touch it without permission. Next time, ask.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you even heard of the JFMC?
What's the JFMC?
The James Farmer Multicultural Center is an office on campus dedicated to celebrating different ethnic and cultural backgrounds. They even have different events on campus. See, here is a poster for the Arab Culture Night.
And here's one for Holy.
Hey kids, I brought you coffee. I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
Mom, get out of my room. I need my personal space. Go fix your hair or something.
You kids keep me so young. Oh, by the way, Aaron Samuels is here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Aaron, your hair looks so sexy pushed back like that. Tell him, James, doesn't his hair look sexy pushed back?
Actually, yes. Oh my God.
I'll get back to you. This is a little awkward, Regina, but I'm like, I'm not into you.
What do you mean you're not into me? What are you trying to say?
Well, this is a little bit awkward because I'm a little bit, well, I'm a lot of bit gay, so.
Oh, okay. I knew it! It's like I have ESPN or something.
Karen, no. You wouldn't have known because he just literally told us.
Yeah, Karen, have you, or, here at UMW, we are committed to our Aspire community values and diversity on campus. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thanks for helping me realize that my response was so wrong. Let me try that again. Thank you so much for coming out to us, Aaron. It means so much that you trust us.
No problem. It means a lot for my friends to finally know.
Are there any resources in the blue book that can help us with Aaron?
Safe zone! Does that mean that only one room on campus is safe for the LGBTQ plus community?
Don't be so stupid, Karen. Safe Zone is a program to help everyone on campus become a better ally to the LGBTQ plus community. Regina, that's so not facts. You can't just call people stupid.
Alright, so I have this soccer game to go to, and I haven't told anyone on the team about this, so please don't tell anyone, please?
Of course, we understand. Coming out is a personal journey for everyone.
Thanks, it means a lot. Actually, before I go, call me!
Whoa. Just due to a huge donation from my father, the inventor of Toaster Strudel, we'll be getting a new Jewish student center.
Hey kids.
I love dogs and mice and dogs. Oh wait, I forgot to put them on. But I just wish its vest was pink. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. I want to touch the puppy.
And Karen, no, that's her service dog. Gosh, don't be so stupid.
Regina, she's not stupid. She just doesn't know about circus animals yet.
So, can I pet the puppy?
Service dogs do a lot of different things for their owners, and when you see someone with a service dog, you have to be careful not to treat them any differently than you would anyone else. But never pet a working dog.
I don't understand.
Don't worry, Karen. You can go to the Office of Disability Resources to learn more about disabilities of individuals and how you can become an ally.
That's such a cool resource. Let's go right now. Okay.
Wait for me.
Hey! Let's
Here at UMW, we wanted to let you know that we're working on making the campus more safe for everybody. We accept all genders, disabilities, identities, religion, religious views, and sexual orientations. We wanted to let you know that here at UMW, the James Harper Multicultural Center is one of the most sought out safe places on campus, but we wanted to let you know that everywhere is slowly becoming safe. Thank you.
Welcome to the Wizard of Oz. You're about to go to the academic journey of Dorothy, who is struggling on her assignments.
All this work is so hard to manage. There's a tornado! Whoa, wait, where am I? I was just sitting at my desk not long ago trying to study. Oh, hey, Dorothy, are you studying for the yellow brick architecture test? Yeah, I'm trying to start. Do you want to join our study group?
Who's gonna help you on your period? Ah.
Yeah!
I forgot my line.
Let's go, let's
Who's gonna help you on your digital studies project involving your domain?
Hey there. I'm the scarecrow that works at the Digital Knowledge Center. Overall, the DKC helps with any and all things digital, including, but not limited to, setting up and editing your domain and using Photoshop.
Well, you already know. I'm already a digital queen.
Hey!
But I'll stop by sometime to learn more. Where are they located?
Just head up to the 4th floor of the HCC and you're good to go.
Yeah, but don't forget about that huge paper you have to write.
Hey there. Don't get all spooked. Just follow the yellow brick road and the Tin Man can help you out.
No one's gonna want to help you. You haven't even started yet. They're just gonna laugh at you when you get there.
Oh, no, we won't. The student consultants and I will be happy to help you at any stage of your writing process. Just head on up to the 4th floor of the HCC.
Wow, I feel so relieved about this now.
Yeah, but don't forget, your professor wants you to do a presentation on your paper.
Well, that's no problem either. The speaking center is right next door to the writing center. We can help you loosen up all those rusty bolts because sometimes tin gets rusty.
Yo, how do you expect those pictures all know exactly what you need to do?
Ah! If only I could talk to a professor. Like, is there any way I can?
Go to office hours!
No, don't do that. Professors are really scared. They don't even know your name.
You know what? I'm gonna go.
Dorothy! Dorothy, is that you?
OMG, I just found out you had office hours.
Yep! All professors are required to have at least 5 hours of office hours per week dedicated to helping students.
OMG, are you serious?
Do I look like I'm lying? Of course I do. And attendance is highly recommended. You know, I'm so happy you're coming to office hours now because some people don't, and I just don't know why. I think they think I'm intimidating or something, but you should know that I'm a very friendly lion. Anyway, here's your paper back. Let me know if you have any questions about the marks I made.
Wow! If I had only looked at the syllabus in advance, it would have gave me a whole lot of important information about the class. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was ready to get back to my assignments.
4 years later.
Wow! It's been 4 years since I started college, and you know what? I don't know why I was so afraid.
So you call me a liar? All this hard work on assignments and in classes for what?
You know what? I'm about to graduate, and your activity has to go.
Oh.
Oh! What are you doing? Do anything wrong can hurt me?
Oh, I saw it in the movie once. I thought it would work.
Dorothy, congratulations! You've earned your degree in Oz history.
What? There's an academic success? No! I'm melting! I'm melting!
Finally, I did it!
Yeah, you did. Now all you have to do to earn your diploma is click your heels 3 times.
Yay, I did it!
All right, let's give it up again for the orientation leaders. So, hello again. I am Brittany, coordinator for new student programs. So what are some things that you learned today? 5 things. Shout them out. And not one to a bed, one to a shower.
Office hours, blue lights. 3 more. Safe rides. Guinea pig. Multicultural center. Okay. You know Dr. Pano is the president. 1 more. Honor code, roommate agreement. Great, great. So I'm going to go through a couple things before we dismiss you from here. Immediately following this, we are going to have a session on consent and bystander intervention. And then after that, OC Sarah, give it up for OC Sarah, is going to come out, and she is going to announce you by your orientation leader groups. So you are going to have orientation leader time for about 30 to 45 minutes following this. And then after that, we are going to have evening activities. And I don't have these memorized, so I'm going to go through some of them. In here will be Game Central. So we will take out all of these seats, and we will have video games up on the projector. Yep. And then there will be Game Zone Ball Circle. So we will have volleyball, cornhole, can jam, frisbee, and soccer. So that's bring it in, session 5. So that's going to be right in front of the University Center where you ate all of your meals today. And then there will be bingo in Lee Hall in the underground. There will be Foursquare, and we have famous golf cart tours. So if you would like a golf cart tour around campus, you are able to take those. There will also be golf carts that will be taking you back and forth from the Hurley Convergence Center to the University Center. So you don't have to walk back and forth. There will be golf carts that can take you back and forth. That's awesome. And then in the University Center living rooms, there will be adult coloring and Jackbox games. And then following that, we will have pizza. Give it up for some pizza. Yes. And then we will have a t-shirt giveaway. So you'll get a free t-shirt at the end of the night. I do want to remind you that the residence halls close at 12 midnight. So if you are not back in the residence hall at midnight, you're going to have to call one of us, and we're going to have to let you in. So please be back in the residence hall at midnight, if not before that. Okay, so at this time, I am going to introduce the Teal peer educators who are going to come talk to you about bystander intervention and consent. So we have Paris Fauser and Claudia Woods.
And just as we move into introducing them and giving them the floor, I just want to remind you all, session 5, this is a serious topic. There's going to be pieces of it that are interactive, but it's also not the session 5 comedy hour. So give them your full and undivided attention and respect. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Claudia Woods, and I'm a Teal peer educator. I represent the Office of Title IX and the Center for Prevention and Education, and I'm a rising junior.
Hello, everyone. Oh, wow, this is loud. I am Paris Fauser. I'm a Teal peer educator also, as well as an orientation leader, and I will be a rising sophomore this coming fall. I wanted to preface that as an orientation leader, we are mandated to report. So if we hear anything that's concerning about hurting yourself or hurting someone else, we have to report that. Just a heads up. As a Teal peer educator in the fall, though, Claudia and I do not have to report. We're a confidential resource, and so you can utilize us in the fall. But currently, our jobs require us to report during orientation. Just a heads up. So we're going to be talking about a few sensitive topics tonight. If at any time you're triggered or uncomfortable, you may leave or just go take a breather outside. Don't actually leave the building, please. That'd be concerning. But yeah, just wanted to say that. So when you hear the words Title IX, what's the first thing that comes to your head? Let's raise hands because we give out little keychains. Yes, you right there. Yes. I heard equality. Okay, can I have 2 more? Yeah. You hear about women. What specifically about women? So opportunity. And then you in the back with blonde hair. Women's rights when it comes to sports and education. Awesome. All great answers. So, in short, Title IX is a comprehensive federal law that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in any federally funded education program or activity. So, this includes things such as athletics, sexual harassment, and sexual violence. Next. So you're gonna learn more about the Office of Title IX through the online course and personally when you return in August for a new student arrival. The office hosts many different events and trainings throughout the year and collaborates with different clubs, organizations, and off-campus partners. If you're looking to get involved or serve on a community committee, feel free to reach out to Claudia or I. I wanna discuss two things from our office today to get you thinking about your role in the community before you return to Mary Washington in August. Next. First, I want to share a video about consent and your homework from the Not Anymore course. Around July 2nd, you'll receive information for the online course Not Anymore that will make sure that it needs to be completed before you return to campus in August. It's mandatory. This will make sure you know our policies around sexual and gender-based harassment and other forms of interpersonal violence. It will give you some information on our policy, consent, bystander intervention, and other various topics. This course will be required for all students to help them understand our values, policies, and support at UMW. More importantly, we want you to learn about your role in the community. So now we're gonna take a few minutes to watch this video about consent, and then I'll be back.
If you're still struggling with consent, just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they go, oh my God, I would love a cup of tea. Thank you. Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they're like, I'm not really sure. Then you could make them a cup of tea, or not, but be aware they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then, and this is the important part, don't make them drink it. Just because you made it doesn't mean you are entitled to watch them drink it. And if they say no thank you, then don't make them tea at all. Just don't make them tea. Don't make them drink tea. Don't get annoyed at them for not wanting tea. They just don't want tea, okay? They might say, yes, please, that's kind of you. And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying as you've gone to all the effort of making the tea, but they remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. Some people change their mind in the time that it takes to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk. And it's okay for people to change their mind. And you are still not entitled to watch them drink it. And if they're unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea. And they can't answer the question, do you want tea? Because they're unconscious. Okay, maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea. And they said yes. But in the time it took you to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down. Make sure the unconscious person is safe. And this is the important part again. Don't make them drink the tea. They said yes then, sure, but unconscious people don't want tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, and then passed out before they'd finished it, don't keep on pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away. Make sure they're safe, because unconscious people don't want tea. Trust me on this. If someone said yes to tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around to their place unexpectedly and make them tea and force them to drink it going, but you wanted tea last week. Or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat going, but you wanted tea last night. But if you can understand how completely ludicrous it is to force people to have tea when they don't want tea, and you're able to understand when people don't want tea, then how hard is it to understand it when it comes to sex? Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. And on that note, I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea.
Sorry if I ruined drinking tea for anyone. I'm really sorry. But at least you know that when you pick up a cup of tea or you see a cup of tea, you're like, oh, I watched the tea video during orientation. That's about consent, right? Okay. So was anyone like surprised about what this video is trying to convey? I see a nudge of no. Awesome, awesome. So when I watched this video last year, I went to the first orientation. That was the beginning of June. I was surprised. And like being a female, we face a lot of issues. Same thing with males, but females are more broadcasted in social media. I did not know that I could take away my consent. I didn't know that I had that power that once I put it out there, I could take it away. And so that's something that I carried with me throughout the whole year, and I still carry with me to this day, that I can still take away my consent. So consent is not difficult. This video is a quick snippet as there are many scenarios where we showcase how simple it is. Point blank, it is important to obtain consent before moving forward with your partner or partners. The Commonwealth of Virginia has laws, and UMW has a policy. If you do not have someone's consent, you are violating the law and UMW's policy. The course will help a little more along with some programming with you in August and over the year. You know how each campus has its own kind of lingo? Well, making tea is just tea here. It only applies to going to Starbucks or making tea from a Keurig. And so thank you for listening to my presentation about consent. I'm now going to pass it along to Claudia Woods. Thank you.
Hello. So here at Mary Washington, hello, yeah, it's better. Here at Mary Washington, we have a bystander intervention initiative which allows students to work to reduce harm to members of their community. So what do you think of when I say bystander? Yeah, that's very good. Anyone else? Okay. Yeah, all the way in the back. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So we have a lot of different definitions of bystander, but here at Mary Washington, we define a bystander as any individual who observes something that could cause harm or discomfort to any other individual in the greater UMW community. So there are a lot of different scenarios where you can be an active bystander here. What's in a scenario you can think of? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there are a lot of different examples of where you can be an active bystander. So up on the board, you'll probably see like 15. An example I can think of during my time at UMW is seeing classmates or friends who just stop showing up to class. I feel like that's a pretty good example of maybe letting your professor know, I've noticed that this person hasn't come to class anymore. Especially when you come to college, your professor isn't really going to notice if you don't come to class maybe the way they did in high school. Or if you're at a party and someone is probably becoming a little bit too intoxicated, that would be a really good example of stepping up and intervening in a situation. So when you come back in August, we'll talk to you more about how you would intervene in a problematic situation. So right now, I will share the pledge with you. So here at Mary Washington, it's on us to step up. It's on us to say something. And it is on us to be an active bystander. So now I would like you all to take out your phones to write down these 2 numbers. So if you come into a situation tonight where you're not sure what to do, you feel uncomfortable, you don't feel safe, that top phone number is the university police phone number. So the university police are on call 24/7. And if anything happens and you call 540-654-4444, they'll be able to be there like as soon as they can. And the bottom number is for non-emergencies. So if you get locked out of your dorm for some reason, if you call that bottom number, they'll be able to let you in.
So the reason why we have you call the emergency UMW police number is because actual police cannot pinpoint where you are on campus. And so if you do see something and it is a high stress situation, I understand your like instinct to call 911. It's only 3 digits, but you need to call that because then the UMW police will call 911 and like pinpoint them to where you are. Just a heads up. That's why we do that.
It's an extra step that you can just avoid if you call that number. So yeah, delegating the task to someone else is just another way to be an active bystander. Doing something is better than doing nothing, even if you directly are not involved or you don't get yourself involved. Also, obviously, orientation leaders are another great resource. If something happens, you can always call them. They are also mandated reporters, though, so they'll have to let the higher ups know about whatever situation is going on. So yeah, that is the end of our presentation. If you have questions or want to become a Teal Pure educator, I will be standing outside.